Yo, what's up? Enlisted Christmas sales are going strong, and in addition to the premium squads that we got on discount since a few days, we also have now Battle Pass Gold Order stuff on discount. But even better than just on discount, we also have old items, for example, tons of Gold Order vehicles, and most importantly, Gold Order weapons, Gold Order guns in the store now. Now, since the Battle Pass since the Gold Order stuff will be deleted from the game in around 30 days, you really want to get your hands on them now. And since the discounts will be there until the 2nd January, you absolutely want to make sure that you have a good plan of what you want, what is worth buying and what not. And all of this information you will get in this guide. First, I'm going to talk about general stuff like the Gold Order soldiers and the vehicles. And then I'm gonna go into detail which Gold Order guns are worth buying for every single nation. On average, it's going to be something like 8 guns per nation. So, how do Gold Order soldiers work? Simple, they give you a few upsides, but also a few downsides that you want to be aware of. First of all, they all give you a 20% bonus if you have them in your squad. Meaning, if I have this one Gold Order tanker in my tank, I will get a 20% experience bonus on top of all the other bonuses. So you always want to have one or more Gold Order soldiers in every single squad. Keep in mind though, they don't stack with each other, so if you have 3 of them, you won't get 60%, it's capped at 20%. So you want to spread them out. Since I don't play this account, I didn't bother, I just put them all in one squad. But yeah, you want to spread them out, and preferably for every nation that you play, have one nice Gold Order soldier in every single squad. Also keep in mind, if you get a Gold Order soldier of a high tier, for example Radio Man 2, you won't be able to have all of this unlocked unless you unlocked it already in your tech tree. For example, I didn't progress that far, so I don't have Radio Man 2 unlocked and upgraded in my tech tree. So this soldier, this Radio Man 2 soldier, won't have these slots available. Now this is for some soldiers a problem, for others not. And here's how you want to manage the power level. You obviously want to get soldiers of a very high tier, because A, they usually cost a lot of silver, so you're easily saving multiple thousand silver, by sometimes 5 to 10,000 silver, by getting a high tiered perfectly rolled soldier. And you also, since you have higher tiers, you can give them much better perks and so on, which is really good. But you also don't want to have a soldier that can't use his weapons properly. So here are the classes that don't care about this. First of all, Radio Man. All a Radio Man needs to do is just to survive, and you want him to fight anyway. And he's not really that much in need of a second weapon, so it doesn't matter if he only has one weapon. Same thing goes for pilots. Pilots already have everything unlocked they need. The only thing that you would unlock by perfectly upgrading the pilots is the secondary weapon, but they also don't need it. So if you start playing your account, let's say just today, you can instantly buy yourself a high tier attacker and high tier fighter pilot, and you don't need to bother about not having them upgraded, and you can just instantly profit from all of their high perks and perfectly rolled stats. So this is great, this is really good. But so obviously soldiers that are close combat fighters like assaulters and machine gunners, you absolutely need a secondary weapon slot, or alternatively the backpack slot, because you either want 2 weapons or a weapon and an ammo pouch. But not having either of them significantly makes your soldier worse. So yeah, this is something you want to avoid. A last detail that will give you more experience to keep in mind is the following. Let's say I'm playing in the squad Sniper 1. This sniper, since I upgrade the sniper squad, gets the 100% experience bonus from this red tech tree here. So if I play the sniper and I get kills with him, he will get 1% experience bonus by himself. Now, if I had a Gold Order sniper, that would be, let's say, a sniper 3 who doesn't have this because I haven't unlocked this class yet, at least not in that high tier, I wouldn't get this bonus. I would still get a 20% bonus for the squad due to the Gold Order soldier, but I wouldn't get a bonus for the soldier instead. So if you have this problem that you're using a very high tier Gold Order soldier, the maximum way to get experience is by just letting him stay somewhere behind in your squad as I'm doing here, and just fighting with the other soldiers who already have this bonus. And this way you get the absolute maximum amount of experience possible in Enlisted and get a very fast grind. So okay, now you know everything about Gold Order soldiers there is to know, much more than most Enlisted players do. Now what about Gold Order vehicles? They're also quite simple, meaning we don't need to talk about all of them. All you need is a general overview in order to be able to decide for yourself which ones are useful for you or not. The most important thing to understand about them is that they don't come with any special abilities. They're literally just a normal Tech Tree version, but with a fancy skin. Sometimes these skins look cool. For example, this is a snow version, like a spring snow version of the IS-2. Other times it's just not that different. For example, this is just a green tank with a few numbers on it. Yeah, not too special. So some skins are cool, others not. And for the same vehicle you can get multiple versions oftentimes. For example, here's a KV-1 and here is a KV-1. Yeah, and I'm surprised it's not another KV-1. So yeah, like oftentimes you get the same tank with two different skins and then you can just pick whatever you want, which is looking cooler. Besides that, there are no advantages. Now the actual big advantage of Gold Order vehicles is that they save you a lot of silver. If you get yourself high BR stuff, you easily save yourself 50,000 silver by getting one of these. Because A, you don't have to buy it in the Tech Tree anymore, and B, you don't have to upgrade it. And upgrading them can be an absolute horrendous pain on your wallet. So getting even BR3 vehicles can easily save you 20-30,000 silver. Also, you don't need to grind it, since there's nothing to upgrade. And you get all of the stuff, all of the power level instantly. So yeah, now how can you decide which of them are worth buying? Very simple. Look at which BRs are you playing, and then look at what are the best vehicles on this BR. For example, if I wanted to play BR3 Soviets, I know the best vehicles are KV-1s and T-34s. Now I see which one is the best. Okay, this is the best one. And this is another T-34, but this one is slightly better. You can compare the stats and then you see, alright, I'm just going to get the best one and I'm going to get the best KV-1. These two KV-1s are the same. I just look, okay, which one has the best camo? I would say this one looks very nice. So yeah, and I will get both of them and I will play both of them. And this is how I do. If I wanted to play, let's say, BR1 Soviets, I would look, alright, what is the best BR1 tank for Soviets? These are the beginner tanks, so they're likely not the best ones. Okay, then we get the BT-7, alright, and we get T-70. And here the BR2 tanks start. So I know I have to choose among these which one is the best. And the T-70 clearly is the best. He's got the best cannon and good armor. And now I'm searching in the Gold Order shop, where can I get my T-70s? And I see, oh, here we have the Tomboy Farmer T-70. Tomboy farming, best thing to do in university. And he even comes with a cool skin. Yep, very nice, strong, and I know, right? If I start playing Soviets today, I'm very inclined to get this one. And if I think, alright, I want to play Soviets for long, I want to play them BR2, instead of getting this one, I might get the best BR2 Soviet tank, which would be either T-50 or T-28. And I see, right, here, this one, and so on. So this one even has a very good looking skin. And this is how you can decide. Now, if you get low BR Gold Order vehicles, they obviously save you less silver than high BR ones, because they cost less to buy and less to equip. So if you want to get maximum financial advantage, then you want to buy only the high BR ones. Then you see, alright, what is the best? For example, for the Soviets on high BR, IS-1 is usually the best. It's universally most useful tank, because IS-2s are very slow to reload and not that useful overall against infantry. So I might even just get rather an IS-1 than IS-2. Now, if you don't know this information, just watch my guides about each BR. I made guides for low BR, BR3 and BR5 for every nation. And then you can see which vehicles are the best and just get yourself the ones. And that's it. Alright, now you know everything about Gold Order vehicles, Gold Order soldiers. Now comes the main part. Finally, what are the best Gold Order guns to get for every nation? Starting with the Germans, I will only talk about the weapons that are worth buying, because otherwise this video would be 4 hours long. Also, if I don't talk about a weapon, it's for one of two reasons. A, the weapon is just not good, because some of these, actually many of these weapons are simply not strong. Or B, there are similar weapons, or oftentimes even better weapons in the tech tree available. So a gold order weapon really needs to give you significant advantages, or being very special and fun, even if it's not too strong but very fun. But if a gold order weapon is just different but not stronger and not really fun, it's not worth buying. Because you have limited gold orders, and now's the time, first time in Enlisted history, that you have the biggest selection of gold orders. So you really want to make sure that you get the best stuff, and this guide will tell you exactly what the best stuff is. So the first weapon worth buying for the Germans is the Breda PGCR. Now, what makes this weapon so good? Well, it's a BR5 weapon, similar to the FG42, but with much less recoil. At least if you play it, you will see it. And with a 4 bullet burst. Same amount of ammunition, but 4 bullet burst. Now, what does this mean? It means that you will basically always get 1 kill on the enemy. Now, if you're running around and you click once and it shoots 4 bullets, this means there's no way for the enemy to survive. And all you need is, on any distance, just 2 hits, and the enemy is dead. So this is basically a noob weapon that makes sure that you always get a kill. Is it better than the FG42 too? No, it's not, because although this weapon is much easier to use, it's worse against groups of enemies. So if you're good at spraying, you much rather use your FG42 and spray enemies away. But still, this weapon is quite strong and cool to use, and it's unique because there's no other weapon that you can just have on BR5 Germans, or even overall on Germans, with a 4-round burst. So yeah, overall, this is worth getting. I would rate it as an okay buy. I have my scale of okay, good, and very good, and this is nothing too special. And if you're a good player, a high BR player, you don't really need it. You rather play the FG42s, but it's still an okay, good and special weapon. So yeah, worth buying. Then we get the Mondragon. This is a very overhyped weapon. Why? Because people lose their minds when they see 30-round magazines on a semi-auto rifle. Now, this is literally the only real advantage this weapon gives you. It's just the BR4 semi-auto rifle with a big magazine. The alternative would be the ZH with 10 bullets. So, yep, it's just a normal semi-auto rifle with a big magazine. How good is it? It's also just an okay buy, because it gives you significant advantages. If you like playing BR4, if you like playing semi-auto rifles, this is literally the best you can get. So yeah, that makes it worth getting. Why isn't it better than just okay? Well, because BR4 is a problem. BR, because at the moment you rather play BR5 or BR3, but BR4 isn't really worth it. And it becomes instantly unplayable once you reach BR5. Because there you just get 1,000 Tech 3 weapons and even multiple gold order weapons that are just straight up better, because semi-auto rifles don't work anymore on BR5. They're way too bad. So yeah, this weapon is highly limited. For example, this is better. Yeah, this is better. It only has 20 bullets, but well, guess what? 4-round burst, really good. Yeah, and you can switch it to semi-auto if you want. So if you want to pick one, I'd rather get the Breda. That gives you a strong advantage over enemies, even on any distance, because no matter how far the enemy is away, if you spray at him, 1 or 2 bullets will hit always. Yeah, so this is really cool. Then next we have the FN model. This is another okay buy. Why? It's a BR3 weapon. It isn't much better than the BR3 German Tech 3 weapon, which is the MG34 with 50 bullets. But this weapon behaves like the American Brownings. I'm surprised I didn't start. Like the American Brownings from BR3. So if you like that weapon type, this is the closest thing you get to them. Personally, I would still rather play the German MG34, with its cool design, with its legendary status, and with its 50 bullets. But for every American fan who wants to get the American experience when playing Germans, this is really good. Also, sprint factor 75, meaning you get a 25% speed penalty. Let's compare this one to the machine gun 44, which gives you a 50% penalty. You see, so with this weapon, you will be, with the gold order weapon, you will be even 50% faster. Or at least your penalty will be half, just half, so 50% less. So yeah, overall useful if you like that specific type of gameplay. Then we get a very good gold order. The legendary, at least in Enlisted, because in real life no one knew about it, since it's an obscure prototype. Legendary Condas. Why is it legendary? It's one of the strongest things in the game, because it's a submachine gun, it's an SMG, with an insane fire rate, with insanely low recoil, with very good recoil control, with good damage, and 100 bullets. It's just insane stats stacked on top of each other. And it even looks quite cool. And when you're shooting it, it's also fun. So this is basically as good as it gets. You can't get... You see, it doesn't even have recoil. This is insane. This is... And you see, despite having 100 bullets, it shoots so fast, your magazine actually emptied out. Yeah. Like, there's no way to survive against this weapon on short range. And even on medium to longer ranges, it's insanely good. So, if you want to have the biggest power level jump and the biggest advantage possible, this is the weapon you want to buy. There won't be any weapon that will be better than this, because this is already way too overpowered, way too strong, and stretches all the boundaries of what's possible in Enlisted. So yeah, this is the clear winner in terms of power level for Germany. Then we get the Scotty Mod X. Now this is a BR2 semi-auto rifle. What's so special about that? Well, for many nations this wouldn't be too special, but for Germany it's basically the strongest thing you can get, since the alternative that you can get is the Amaguera. Though the Amaguera comes with significantly worse stats, especially slightly worse stats, but they matter, especially with less precision and worse recoil when you're shooting it. But the Scotty, if you shoot it, you will feel it feels definitely better. It feels definitely better. So if you want to have an actually good, you see it, like it has quite good sights, and the recoil is also quite low, so you can aim very well. Yes, really good. So if you like playing semi-auto rifles on BR2, this is an okay buy. It's nothing too special, but since the Germans have a weakness when it comes to BR2 semi-auto rifles, this is exactly the best thing you can get. Then we get the Beretta 1980-30, and this is a very good buy, a very good gold order weapon. Now why? Very simple. It's one of the weapons that also bend the rules with what you can actually get and play and what not. It's a semi-auto rifle for BR1, which is already not possible with the Tech 3. Then it has insanely low recoil, absolutely insanely low recoil, good shot deviation, great recoil control, fast reload speed, good fire rate, okay, like the low semi-auto rifle damage, but still fine, and it comes with 25 rounds. So these stats are in the Tech 3 available only for Americans on their M1 carbines, but they come with 15 bullets, and they're already one of the best weapons on BR2. And this thing is just straight up better, and it's a BR1 weapon. And you can see it has no recoil. Even if I try to control recoil, I go too far down. All I need to do is just stay on the point, and the weapon has its natural precision. And you can you can headshot multiple enemies with it. This is just insane. This weapon is ridiculously strong. If this weapon was a BR2 weapon, I would recommend it as a good buy. But since it's playable on BR1, this is one of the strongest buys you can get for Germany, since it's literally an absolutely overpowered weapon for BR1. And since German's BR1 is, for historical reasons alone, very fun and cool to play, because you can get very historically accurate early war army compositions realized there. This weapon I'm personally going to buy 4 times. I'm going to put it on my soldiers and just enjoy BR1 German gaming, since this is just insane. Yeah, this is one of the most slept on weapons in the game. I also didn't expect this weapon to be so good, but it's absolutely ridiculously good and absolutely worth buying. Then we get the artillery Luger. Now this weapon is very overhyped. Why? In theory it's also overpowered and unfair, because it has almost the same stats as the Beretta, but it's a pistol. Well, it has much worse recoil and worse deviation and so on, but still, it's a pistol. So you can put it on any BR, because pistols don't have a BR. You can also play it on BR1. You can play your primary gold or bolt action rifle, and then you just play the artillery Luger and enjoy your life. So in theory this sounds great, but here comes the problem. It doesn't actually work that well, because as you can see with my rifle, when I want to aim, I actually get my zoom effect. You see, you can look deeper into the map. But if you switch to your pistol, there's no zoom effect, maybe like 5%. So nope, this doesn't work like a like a semi-auto rifle. It doesn't give you a zoom, and it obstructs your screen way too much. And the zooming in is also very slow. Here I zoom in very quickly. Here it's very slow. It's coded because every weapon has a zoom in speed. And yep, it's simply not that good. Like in theory it's great. In theory you could just clean out rooms with it on short distance and close quarter combat. But in practice it just won't work. In practice it literally won't work. The slow speed of aiming makes it very hard to get headshots, and it doesn't even matter that it has so many bullets, because you will usually not use them because you will get killed too quickly. So yeah, this is a highly overhyped weapon which only performs well in theory, but in practice not that well. So overall it's an okay buy if you want to have a pistol that's better than other pistols, but that's it. That's about it. There's not really much of another advantage that you get from this. Then we get the Arma EMP suppressed. Now this is, where is it? This is the Scotty. Yeah, here it is. Keep in mind you get a pistol too, though the pistol isn't important, it's just nice to have. We care about this SMG. Yes, why is it so good? It's basically a weaker MP40, but it's silenced. And the other stats are also quite fine. Like the damage is slower, but some other stats are better. So overall, it's a very fine weapon. It's also on BR2. And you basically get the suppressor on top of it. So it's like an upgrade. Or it's like a feature upgrade, because you cannot get suppressed weapon in Tech Tree. So everyone who likes suppressed weapons, this is exactly what you want. Do they give you advantages in the game? Yes, because bots don't react to them. So you can shoot at bots, especially if you're playing very intelligently and hiding, or you're hiding in a bush or behind a corner, stuff like that. You just start shooting with it, and the enemy bots won't react. So all you need to do is, if you see a big squad, just kill the first, like the most active soldier that's controlled by the enemy player, and the other bots won't react, and the enemy player also likely won't, because these weapons are quite silent. And then you just spray away all of the bots before the enemy can actually control them properly and shoot back. So yeah, these things actually work, and they're also fun for sneaky gameplay, and they're very special. So yeah, this is a good buy, due to all of the advantages that you usually wouldn't get. Then we get not the VMP, sadly. It looks very cool, but it's ridiculously over BR'd on BR4, which is a problem for many of these weapons. Next we get the MKB, and this is Not the gold order, not the classical MKB, which is basically a copy of the tech tree version. Why do we get this? Well, it was, I think, in Stalingrad to Moscow, when MKBs were still something special. No, there's the actually good MKB. And I can't buy it anymore in the tech tree because I bought 4 of them for this account. Yes, here it is. Here it is, MKB 35. This is an early prototype for assault rifles in Germany in the 30s. What makes this weapon so good? And most importantly, why is it a very good buy? Close to must buy for Germany. Simple. This is a assault rifle. It's not an SMG, it's an assault rifle, which itself is bad because SMGs can be played by many more soldiers than assault rifles. For example, pilots can't use assault rifles, tankers can't use assault rifles, and very importantly, APC drivers can't use assault rifles, only SMGs and normal rifles. But one special class can use them, and it's the assault engineers. For those who don't know what an assault engineer is, it's a special event squad that was available for Germans and Soviets. And these engineers come with special stuff. The Soviets come with nothing special, just with body armor that you can get for free anyway. But the Germans come with helmets that reduce headshot damage by 85%. Meaning, if you get a headshot, you're gonna take less damage than if you get a body shot. So these dudes literally want to tank enemy shots with their heads because they barely take any damage. They don't protect against neck shots, unlike normal helmets, which is a problem. But still, quite fancy. And they have the special ability of being able to use assault rifles because they are called assault engineers. Now what does it mean? It means on high BR, you just give them MKBs. And they literally came with 6 MKBs. But on low BR, you can't play them, well, at least not effectively, because there's no assault rifle since they're all BR5. Except for this one special gold order weapon. Yes, and you see the combo, exactly. This squad, together with this weapon, allows you to have a very strong assault rifle on BR2. And not even on assaulters, no, on engineers. This is absolutely insane. Also absolutely fun, because you have engineers who actually can dish out a ton of damage. And obviously these stats are not like an STG, but they're not even that much worse. They're just different. You get less ammunition, but you get more damage. You also have a slower fire rate, but slower fire rate in this case isn't much of a problem, because you have less bullets anyway, and since you're using it on engineers anyway, you won't have all of the vertical perks and so on. So, yep, having less of a fire rate actually is welcome here, because it means you have 0 recoil. Yeah, close to 0. You see? This is insanely good. Insanely good, also comes with a lot of flavor and lets you role play literal assault engineers. So yeah, this is also a very good buy. And if you're having the squad, or if you're possibly getting it from the loot box, if you didn't listen to my recent video where I recommended against looting, against loot boxing, yep, then you really want absolutely to have 4 of these. I would much rather buy 4 of these than I would buy 4 Condors, because yeah, Condors, well, I can play other weapons instead. But this weapon is absolutely unique. There's nothing else in the game that lets you profit from these advantages. So yeah, this is an absolute basically must buy. Then there's the Gewehr 43 Kurz. What is the Gewehr 43 Kurz? Well, it's a Gewehr 43 as in a tech tree, but with different ammunition, with full auto after some recent patches, and a big magazine size. This is basically an upgraded STG-34. Because it has higher damage and besides that very similar stats. This is also quite a unique weapon, because since it counts as a rifle, meaning you can put it on most soldiers, it doesn't count as an assault rifle or SMG. And it has basically 0 recoil too. You can play it, for example, on engineers. Yes. And you don't need any special obscure rare Assault Engineers, you can play it on any engineer on BR5. And he gets a weapon that's basically better than an STG. So yeah, this is really, really good. This weapon is also a very good buy, because it lets you cheat on the weapon classes and soldier classes by using basically an assault rifle on your normal soldier. So yeah, really good weapon, very strong, stronger than what you get in the tech tree, and also gives you additional utility. Then there's the Suomi, and this is our last recommended weapon for Germans. Suomi KP26. What is so good about this one? Compared to many other BR3 SMGs on this list, well, it's the only one that's actually very good and better than everything in the tech tree. Because all of the others are literally barely as good as what you get in the tech tree. But this one is better than everything you get in the tech tree. It has more bullets. It's just 4 more bullets in an MP40, but still. It has less damage, but it has basically no recoil. Basically no recoil means it's a headshot machine. And if your assaulters like one thing more than anything else, it's exactly this. It's being able to to spray enemy heads. And it's also faster than an MP40. Yep, you see? This weapon is insanely good. If you like precision, if you like aiming at enemies' heads, and if you like spraying away a whole group of enemies by just headshotting them, this is by far the best weapon. Yeah, so this weapon I rank as a good buy. Yeah, it's not just an okay buy, it's actually a really good buy, because if you like playing BR3 Germans, this is definitely something that you will really profit from. And it looks quite unique, so another advantage for it too. So this concludes the German weapons. What about the American ones? First we have the Bren Mark 100. Now this thing exists in a similar version in an event, Paratrooper Squad. Looks almost exactly the same, but the other version has more than double the fire rate. This thing literally has something like only 40% of the fire rate of the other weapon. But what makes it good? Well, it's just overall a good weapon. And it's arguably around the power level of the tech tree machine gun. But it has better sights. Yeah, it has quite a cool sights. So it's nothing too special, because you can get a similar weapon in terms of the big bar at the end of the American machine gun tech tree line on BR5, but it's still a weapon that's really strong. It's a weapon that's really strong, and you can role play as a Brit-bonk with it if you don't like playing the American machine guns, so that's also a slight advantage, and there are many people who really want British weapons, so yeah, this gives you exactly that. So yeah, this is an okay buy, nothing too special, but also not bad, and gives you some upsides. Then we have the Farka Hill. This weapon, similar to the Mondragon, BR4 weapon with an increased magazine size of just 19. Yep, not 30, it's just 19, but still, for everyone who loves semi-auto rifles, since there are some people. Keep in mind, sometimes in the practice mode you need to switch to your second soldier, because he's got the weapon, not the first. You see, the sights are really good, and the recoil is basically 0. Yeah, and you get a bigger magazine size than the normal tech tree weapons, which max out at 10. So yeah, if you like playing semi-auto rifles at BR4, this is a strict upgrade and a strong weapon. I already explained the downsides of playing BR4 weapons, especially rifles. But if you really want to do it, this is a okay buy, since it's actually a strong buy, because it gives you very much an advantage over anything else you usually would get. Then we get the suppressed weapons, though not the first ones, which are actually one of the worst weapons in the game, but the second ones, which are actually good. First of all, the pistol is horrible, because it's manual, it's not semi-auto. But the M3 is good. Well, this is basically a grease gun. And the same is true as for the German suppressed weapons. it gets all the advantages of a suppressor, and it even has the high damage of a grease gun. Less than the normal grease gun, but still. Damage is high, meaning on short range, 2 hits kill everything. And on long range, well, 1 good headshot, since you can aim very well with these sights. 1 good headshot, also thanks to the low recoil, makes sure everything dies. So yeah. You even want to use suppressed weapons on longer ranges, like mid to long range, because then the chance is 0 that the enemy spot where you are. So yeah, this is worth it, definitely worth it, not only due to role-playing with the suppressor, but because the weapon actually gives you enough additional power that you usually wouldn't get, that it's worth buying. So yeah, this is a good buy. Then we have the double pack basically of the BSA Thompson and the Hyde model. Now, they are very similar, they look different, but they behave regarding their stats and regarding how strong they are very similar. And they're both BR2 weapons, so you basically can pick whichever you like more of them. Just try them out and get the one you like more. I personally, if I wanted to get one, I personally would get this one. Let's see, these sights are okay. And keep in mind the Thompsons all come with very slow muzzle velocity, meaning you really feel the difference in terms of how it behaves relative to normal weapons. But still, yeah, so this was the second one. Now let's try out the first one. Yep, it has different sights. I personally would prefer the second sights. And the zoom doesn't feel as good as with the second weapon. Yep. Yeah, I personally would absolutely buy the second one. Though, if you prefer the sights of the first one, this is obviously better for you. So yeah, these two are an okay buy. Nothing too special, nothing too strong. I'd still rather play grease guns on BR2. But for everyone who likes Thompsons, these are the only way to play Thompsons on BR2. So yeah, that's what makes them useful. And then we get the Peterson rifle. What about this? Well, it's for the semi-auto lovers once again. On BR3 as an American you can get the Garand, which gives you 8 bullets. And also very high historical accuracy because you're playing a Garand for Americans. This is good, but for those who want an upgrade over the Garand, you can play the Peterson rifle, because this is just a straight up upgrade. It has better sights, it's faster and more precise, and it has 25% more bullets. So yeah, this is an okay buy. If you really like semi-auto rifles, it's a good buy, since it's just very good. Though, since it's so close to the Garand, it's just an okay buy, because the Garand is already very strong and doesn't need much of an upgrade. So this is something for the hardcore semi-auto lovers. And then our last recommendation, the Peterson device. Not to be confused with the Peterson rifle. What about this thing? Well, it's similar to the German Beretta 1918 in terms of being highly underrated. Why? Well, as Americans on BR2 you get the M1 carbine, as I already said, with 15 bullets. This is basically an M1 carbine with 40 bullets and no recoil at all. Yes, if you thought spamming 25 bullets as a German is strong, try out spamming 40 bullets. And this has even less, oh my god, this has even less recoil. Oh my, yeah, this is insane. Look at this. I'm not, okay, let me reset the, no. I'm not even controlling the recoil, it's literally that precise. Yeah, this weapon is insane. This is an insanely strong weapon. Also fun. I personally don't like semi-auto rifles, but if they have lots of damage, and if they have lots of bullets, and if they have low damage, it's actually fun to just spray them at enemies, at enemy heads. So you just basically have a headshot specialized weapon. But it only works with low recoil. With the Garand you can't go for headshots constantly. With this weapon you can. So yeah, this is a very fun weapon coming with its own playstyle. And I would call it a very good buy because there's no way, no other... Yeah, this also completely bends the rules of the game by giving you 40 bullets from BR2 with perfectly good stats. So yeah, this is the last recommendation for Americans and a very strong one in it too. Next we have the Soviets, and they also have their fair share of gold order weapons. And among them, the king of enlisted gold order weapons. You might take 1-2 seconds taking your guesses which one it might be. It's actually not that easy because they have a lot of overpowered stuff, yeah. But yeah, there's one big winner and you will be very pleased to get it and try it out. But first we start with the Yazikov. Now what is so special about this? It looks quite close like a Tech 9. It looks cool, I would say also. But here comes the big deal. It's a full auto pistol with 15 bullets and okay damage, insane fire rate, but also very low recoil. Now the short deviation doesn't matter because you're gonna use them on short distance anyway. So what makes it so good? Very simple. Exactly. Everything dies. Like if you whip this out, unlike the, look at this, unlike the weak ass artillery Luger, this gives you zoom. You don't need it on long range though, you still, with 15 bullets, you can, well, 3 or 4 of them are gonna land in the enemy. So he's gonna die too. But on short range, let's say you used up your weapons and then you switch to this and then you just, yeah, just killed 1 or 2 soldiers. Even if you have a group in front of you, yep, you can easily spray away 3 enemies, especially if you go for headshots, and they can't do anything because this thing is way too fast. So yeah, this is the possibly strongest pistol in the game that you can buy this way and it's a gold order. This is a strong buy. Only downside is there are so many other good weapons, not only in the game but also for Soviets, that many players wouldn't want to spend their gold orders on a pistol. And this is literally the only downside. If you're swimming in gold orders, this is the possibly best buy, one of the best buys for Soviets, because it gives you just an overpowered advantage. A pistol that is a strong mini SMG that you can use on BR1. Yeah, guess what? This is reaching overpoweredness levels very quickly. So yeah, very good buy. The Yazikov pistol SMG. Then we get the RPK. Now this is a good to okay buy. Here's the thing, many people hate the Madsen due to its obnoxious recoil. This weapon comes with high vertical but low horizontal recoil, so it's easier to control. It sadly comes with just 15 rounds, but still, it's a viable weapon. For other nations it wouldn't be good, but the problem is the Soviets have such a problematic low BR machine gun that this is actually quite welcome. And it feels and handles and looks with its sights like the American BR3 Brownings. So yeah, all the American players are also gonna profit using this as low BR Soviets. And it's overall comfy to play. And it also sprint factor of 80. So just a 20% speed bonus. Let's compare this to the Madsen, which has, yeah, a 50% bonus. You see, this RPK even gives a smaller speed penalty than the machine gun we compared before. So yeah, this, if you like playing low BR Soviets, I also got 4 of those, is a really good weapon. It's not a very good weapon, it's just a good weapon, but it's significantly better than what you usually would play. I personally dual wield with a Madsen because the Madsen, despite being on paper bad, it still has, well, 25 bullets. It's still a machine gun. So I use the RPK as a primary weapon. And then, you see, the Madsen has quite low recoil. I use the Madsen as a secondary to switch mid-combat once I'm out of bullets. Or if I can low down, yep, it gets 0 recoil. And then the 25 bullets on low BR suddenly become very good. So yeah, mixing both weapons is really good for the situations where you don't need speed and don't need fast reactions. And you can bipod your weapon. Then the Madsen is great. But as a primary machine gun, under stress, if you infiltrate the enemies, if you want to be fast and mobile, the RPK is just much, much better. Then we get a special fancy weapon, the Godos LMG, which is an LMG in real life, but not an Enlisted, because it's denominated as a semi-auto rifle. Yes, this is one of the cases where you once again bend the rules to your advantage, because you can put this weapon on every soldier, like every normal soldier, especially engineers, giving you a weapon that's much better than the Soviet AVSs and AVTs that you would play alternatively on high BR. Now look at this. Yep, you see, this is why I'm not playing it personally. A, the sights are horrific. If you half zoom, you literally lose half of your screen. And if you full zoom, you lose only 40% of your screen, but still it's annoying as fuck. And the recoil is just insane. The recoil is just insane. But if you control it well, and if you spray, let's say, if you spray it mid to short range targets, it's actually good. And if you mount, it's also quite good. So yeah, like this weapon overall is good, it's just annoying to use. But the power is definitely there. And it's definitely stronger than high BR Soviet stuff. So if you don't like playing the AVS, which has 5 bullets less, this is an upgrade in terms of power. I would say it's an okay buy, because the sights are a problem, because yeah, if you're in an open area, you can't just afford not seeing half the screen, because you're going to get killed by everything from the right side of the screen. But still, it's a useful weapon overall. Then we have another underrated weapon. We have the SVD-38. I bought a couple of those too for myself. For 2 reasons. A, BR3 Soviets is where all of the historically accurate stuff is. Because you get your T-34s, your KV-1s and so on, as already implied. But you also get many cool weapons, especially the famous Soviet semi-auto sniper rifles. Because whereas Germans were specialized on bolt action sniping, and later some full auto sniper weapons, or weapons with a scope mounted, most often a short range scope, the Soviets used semi-auto rifles as regular sniper weapons. And these were a pain in the booty for the Germans, because they are very good, not only in real life, but especially enlisted. Because look at this. Well, these were only 1 headshot missed. Yeah, this weapon is just simply good. It looks cool. It has a very good sight, like very good scope, strong scope, low recoil, and good performance. Now, this is, for 2 reasons, just an okay buy, not a good buy. First of all, the Tech 3 already has a BR3 semi-auto sniper rifle with 3 bullets. Because, as I said, the Soviets are specialized on it in real life, and this is also reflected in Enlisted. Because there you get the sniper SVT with its 10 bullets and similar stats and so on. The other downside is, or the other reason why it's not too strong as a gold order, is that there's a Soviet premium squad, which literally comes, well, with a whole squad equipped with them. Alright, so this is the BR2 version. There's also the BR3 version. Yes, you get a whole 5-man sniper squad with an engineer that comes with a similar weapon. Yeah, and we can try out this one too. And see, is the gold or the SVT better than this one? It looks, well, oh, the scope doesn't look as cool, but it is better because you see more of your screen. And you see, yep, the recoil control is quite good. You see how the scope goes back to the center of the screen. And here's the difference that you need to know. This scope is less strong. Same thing goes for the Tech 3 weapon. So if you like mid-range sniping, the tech tree is better, and this premium squad is better. Also, it's financially more efficient to get this premium squad, where you get a whole complete squad with all the upsides, and you even get 5 of those on your squad instead of just 3 as a normal squad. Yeah, I'd rather get this squad. Also, the price is quite good right now with the discount. Yeah, this is the main reason why this weapon is so good. It has too much good competition. But if you absolutely want to have a long-range semi-auto sniping rifle, then yeah, this one's really good. This one's really good. Only downside is it's BR3, and yeah, BR3 is quite crowded with Soviet snipers. Also, you can get this, as I already said, you can get a similar weapon on BR2, because there's also, well, there's literally a version of the weapon with 5 bullets. Yeah, SVD 30 with 5 bullets, and in the gold order store, you see the SVD 38 with 10 bullets. So yeah, there's too much competition. Just pick whatever you like personally more. This is a good mention, but not too much of a strong buy. What is a strong buy though is the LAD. Now this is by all means and purposes a machine gun. It looks like a Cold War machine gun for the Soviets, but once again it's denominated as an SMG. What does it mean? You literally get an insanely dummy thick, stupid, overpowered SMG for your Soviets. Because this one has insane 150 bullets. It has low damage. It has a surprisingly low fire rate. But it comes with quite a low shot deviation. And very good recoil control and basically no recoil at all. Also no sprint penalty. So how does this thing behave? Well, very good. Because if you just run around, since you're not slowed down, everything's fine. And then you start shooting, and you see you can easily shoot 20 bullets into every enemy's head, and the slow fire rate actually helps you by getting basically 0 recoil at all. Now if you mount it, it's even better, because now you absolutely become a headshot machine. It doesn't matter if half of your shots miss the head, because you're shooting more than enough bullets. As you can see, the only downside is you don't get any ammunition in your ammo pouch, because it comes with 0. That's a downside, but this is the Abyss balanced nerf, because you already have 150 bullets. Now, this weapon is, I would say, an okay buy. Why is it just an okay buy? Because they are straight up better weapons. Yes, and this is the big trap. Especially new players fall. They think, oh my god, this is so insane, it doesn't get any better, I have to buy 20 of these. Well, you can buy first only 4 for every gold order. Except for pistols, I think, or for swords, you can buy 6. But it's actually, I actually wouldn't buy this, because instead you can buy the Spitalny. What's so good about this thing and what makes it better? Well, it also has a dummy high magazine size. Similar stats, it has higher shot deviation, has the same damage, but here comes the important part. It's much faster. And here's what matters. It doesn't matter if you have 150 or 200 or 500 bullets on your weapon. What matters is that you actually kill your enemies fast enough that you don't get killed, so you can actually use your bullets. This is the big mistakes especially stupid sweatlords do in Enlisted. They don't understand that it doesn't matter how many bullets you have. The only metric that matters is how many bullets you will shoot before you get killed back. And this weapon makes sure you shoot more bullets than with your LAD, because look at this fire rate. Oh yeah, oh yes. Oh my god, look how much faster it is. And you also get 100 more bullets in your back. So overall you have almost 1/3 more bullets, so you have 200 instead of 150. And you have a much higher fire rate, meaning your enemies won't be able to shoot you back. For those thinking, oh no, isn't 600 enough? Guess what? In my recent video I have a scene where I'm shooting at a group of 20 Soviets with an MG42-100, which has a fire rate of basically 1000. And after killing, I think, like 7 Soviets or so, I'm getting shot back. Now what does it tell us? That my fire rate wasn't high enough. If I had a higher fire rate, they would be all dead. Yeah? So this additional fire rate is absolutely strong, absolutely important. And also this weapon comes with more ammunition. You see, yep, it's really good. Also it looks quite nice. It basically looks like an updated PPSH. And it's so heavy with its 100 bullets that you actually have to hold the magazine. Yeah, this is really cool. Also it has the typical Soviet World War II drum mag design, which also I personally like a lot, because it gives the Soviets some unique flavor that other nations don't have. Which is also why I like the 50 bullet Thompsons, because they also have a drum mag. So yeah, really good weapon. Definitely better than the LAD. You will get more kills and perform better with the Spitalny than with the LAD. So don't be a noob. If you care about power, this is the good buying recommendation, and this is just the okay buying recommendation. Of course, you can be a complete mutant and just dual wield them both. Yeah, then you reach insane levels, though you literally, yeah, it's literally enough to just have one of those, because yeah, you won't need another weapon. All right. What is the... And if I don't recommend dual wielding, you really know... Yeah, you don't need to dual wield in situations like these. Now, for power level reasons, of course, if you're playing assaulters, here comes the important part. These are all BR5 weapons. Yep, obviously, because they are insanely way overpowered for BR4. In BR5 Soviets, the problem is you already have insanely overpowered weapons, because you start out with your PPD, and then you get the PPSH, which is just a faster shooting PPD. It's like over 1,000 bullets per second, per minute, so 20. It almost shoots like 20 bullets per second, and has 71 bullets. Really, really good, yeah. But damage is low. Now, if you want high damage, you get the Fedorov, which has high damage as an assault rifle, comes with 25 bullets. And low recoil, good fire rate, very strong weapon. But if you want less damage but more bullets and less recoil too, you get the AS-44, which is basically a 10% stronger STG-44. Yeah, also very good. Now, if you want to put your LADs and Spitalnys on assaulters, for power gaming, these Take 3 weapons are just better. Because they one-shot with headshots always, and they two-shot always, and they're very precise at all distances, and they have perfect size, perfect metrics, and so on. All the good old Dark Force Soviet buys as we know it, and these aren't really that necessary anymore. And if you would put them on assaulters, you'd rather still have an AS as a primary, and this is a secondary on short range. Where these weapons actually become useful is on soldiers that cannot use them, cannot use assault rifles, most importantly APC drivers. I always have a Spitalny on my APC driver because he really will profit from it. You can also put it on partisans if you play them. You can also put it on medics and stuff like that. So yeah, this is where they really start shining. Okay, then we got the KBP, another cool thing, another cool instance of semi-auto rifle on BR1 with 25 bullets. Yeah, this is basically the Soviet equivalent of the German Beretta 1918. Everything that was true for that is also true for this. You see? Yep. Yeah, exactly. Very fun. It plays exactly like the Beretta. And it also comes from BR1, so all of the advantages are same here. Really, really good weapon, very much worth buying. And especially if you like BR1, this is a must buy. This is an extremely very good buy, thanks to the insanely good stats. Then we get to the fan favorite, the PPD Brummett. And it's here in the set of suppressed weapons. You see, not all weapons have logical names here, because, yeah, here it is. You also get a revolver too, which is unplayable because it's a revolver. Because you're gonna get shot 10 times back while you're reloading your second bullet. But here it is, the Brummett. This is basically a PPD. but it's on BR4, not on BR5. So you can already cheat on one BR. This is very good. And you get very good recoil and suppressor. So unlike the previous German and American weapons where we had suppressed weapons on BR2, here you get one on BR4, which is actually a BR5 weapon. And this one's really good because, well, guess what? You have roughly twice the size of bullets. And you get insanely good sights, some of the best sights in the game because they're just so thin. They help you aiming and they don't obstruct your view, which is exactly as sights should be. And if you mount, well, I didn't mount. Alright, I can't mount apparently. Yeah, if you mount that, the recoil obviously goes away completely. You can hide in the grass and the bots won't react to you. You can't mount it apparently. Oh, this seems to be a nerf. Possibly a bug since we're talking about Dark Flow, but might be a nerf for the weapon. Well, you just hide behind a corner and spray away your enemies and they don't shoot back. So yeah, everyone who likes playing sneaky stuff and who likes suppressed weapons and who especially likes partisan gameplay, because this is literally a perfect weapon for partisans. Yeah, this is exactly what you want. And you get, as the used car salesmen would say, you also get a pistol on top for free. Yeah, okay, so yeah, very good, very strong weapon. Spitalny is better, much stronger, because it's faster and has just higher fire rate and has more bullets. But the suppressor is also worth a lot, and you get it on BR4, giving it additional utility. So yeah, this is another good buy. Then we come to the suppressed sniper. Now, yes, this is the only nation who gets 2 sets of suppressed weapons and both are good. Unlike the Americans where one is horribly bad. Now the Soviet classic of bad revolver. But here it is. Here it is. Another, as you can see, Soviets like their sniping. BR1 this time. BR1 sniper rifle. And what's the advantage of this over the normal Tech tree? Well, the recoil is smaller. Because look at this. You see it goes just up. But it doesn't really go much to the sides. And it's very easy to instantly aim back. If you use the BR1 Mosin sniper rifle, it goes to the sides and it's much harder to aim. And with this, I can do 5 headshots in a row without any trouble, and it's perfect. And it's damn cool because it's a suppressed sniper rifle. I mean, yeah, what better weapon is to be suppressed than a sniper rifle? Yeah, so this is another good buy for flavor, for fun, and also for giving you additional utility over the normal one. And also, obviously you don't want bots to react to you when you snipe them. And this also gives you the advantage. So yeah, another good buy. Then we go to our last recommendation, and it's the king, not only of Soviet weapons, but overall, the Armament 50. Yes, what is this? It's a handheld mortar, meaning you don't need to hassle around with a mortar squad. You literally have one in your hand. It's sadly tied to be a tree, but that's the only downside of the weapon. It's a 50mm caliber, giving you the biggest explosion that can be created by infantry guns, much bigger than the grenade launchers from the Tech tree. And look at what it does. I recommend you take any gold order weapon with lots of bullets, especially the 100 bullet machine guns, and try to destroy one of these things. You won't be able to, but look at this. They're fucking gone. Exactly. This is how strong this RMN is. It just destroys everything. It just destroys, oh my god. You see the reach is, I think, 14 meters. Obviously with a diminishing distance, so a damage over distance, but still, it's really good. Only problems is aiming, as you can see the drop-off is very hard. Let's try to, let's go over there and try, let's see what happens if I aim at this tower. Yeah, you see it falls like 7 meters lower. Also it comes with barely enough ammunition. It only comes with 12 shots. But if you use ammo pouches you will get more. Now, what is so special about this weapon? What's so... Oh, does it come with only 6? I don't think so. Let's try again. Yeah, so what's so special about this weapon? It's the only mortar you can get as a gun. It's very strong. Very, very strong. It's insanely fun to play. The only reason I don't have that much footage I now remember is that I forgot about this weapon and I only have 1. So... if I don't specifically remember... you'll really only get 6. Yeah, sad. I guess I have an ammo pouch then on the soldier I usually use. The only problem of this weapon is if you have only 1 of them, that you're basically depending on it. But what you can do is, you can buy 4 of them, and this is my strongest recommendation of this guide. Get yourself 4 of these, if you play Soviets. And if you don't, start playing Soviets. And just blow up all of your enemies. It's just super fun. If there's a group of enemies, they're all dead. They're all dead. Because this thing has a big explosion radius and big damage. Yes. This thing teaches all the sweat lords to stop being retarded and clustering up and just spread out. Because many Enlisted players think that being a soldier means you have 50 soldiers standing around next to a car. And this is how you survive a war. Nope, obviously not. But for those who forget it, this is the best reminder you can have. And it's just ridiculously fun. Now, I recommend to put 1 into every squad you're playing. And if possible, put multiple of them. Because it's just insanely strong. And here's the best thing. It counts as an anti-tank gunner weapon, but it can also be used from riflemen. So you can put this on your riflemen, meaning you can put it in literally every infantry squad and just run around. And you can give it to an anti-tank gunner, though the best way to play it is one of 2 ways, depending on what you prefer. Either you use it with a big ammo pouch, and then you're going to have something like 30 rounds, or you use it together with a normal bolt-action rifle or semi-auto rifle, and then you have your rifle for normal shooting. And if you see an enemy, you just blow him up if you are a man. Keep in mind, since the explosion radius is so big, if you don't aim well, you're going to kill yourself often too. So this is what makes this weapon balanced. Unlike grenade launchers, which you can easily survive, this thing you cannot. So you better aim at distances. You can also aim at walls or at roofs and make sure that you get a good headshot damage from the explosion on your enemies. And you don't get damaged yourself, because you will be easier further away. So yeah, absolutely best recommendation to buy in Enlisted in the moment of its last gold order season. So yeah, then for the end we have the Emperor's Chosen, the Japanese, and for them we only have 4 recommendations, because yeah, they barely have any weapons. First of all, we get the Murata. Now what's so good about this? Well, not much, but ironically enough, the Japanese bolt-action rifles on low BR are just not that great, and you barely get any good upgrades. And this thing is just a really good bolt-action rifle. It has great stats, especially look at this ridiculously low recoil. It's very fast, and it has 8 rounds. And this means you just get, if you like playing low BR Japanese, which I like a lot. I personally play only BR2 and BR5 Japanese. You see, it's insanely fast. It's insanely fast, it's very reliable. It's exactly how everyone claims the Arisaka is, which it isn't. But this thing is, yeah. Reload is a bit slow, but well, you won't need any reload, because you're gonna kill a whole squad with your 8 bullets. So yeah, this is a good buy for those who love playing BR2 Japanese and want an advantage. Since it's not too much of a big flashy weapon, I would say overall it's just an okay buy. But still keep in mind if you want to get something for your BR2 Japanese army. Then we get another goodie for the BR2 Japanese, the Hotchkiss. Now this is not a graphical error, this is literally a stiff, very stiff magazine. And yeah, the stats are good, the speed is okay, the recoil is low, but you have very low recoil control, that's a problem. But you get 30 bullets. Now 30 bullets on a machine gun on BR2 is insanely good, especially since it doesn't have any downsides. And you see, this magazine doesn't even obstruct your view. It basically is just a thin line. And you see, it even has this cool effect of moving to the left side. This is really cool. Yeah, this is a very strong weapon. Definitely a good buy. And what makes it even better is that it perfectly synergizes with the other great Japanese machine gun, the Type 97, I think, from the Tech Tree. Yes, Type 97, which has a scope. And this weapon, due to its scope, is really good for sniping. It's literally the reason why you don't want to play snipers as Japanese, because you have this thing which is just better. But it's horrible on short range, because you can either do this, which you obviously don't want to because you don't see anything, or you do this, but then on short range you have problem aiming, especially since it makes you slow. So the Hotchkiss is a perfect combination weapon with the Type 97, since you can use the Type 97 as a primary for long ranges, and if enemies come close to you, you just start spraying them away on short range of your Hotchkiss. Then we get a very overhyped weapon, the Sword Pistol. Now, some people go complete soy boy, soy mouth over this weapon and say this is literally the best weapon ever because it's a sword giving you sword advantages, and it's a pistol giving you pistol advantages. Meaning, you can just charge at your enemies, hack up a few burgers, and then shoot the remaining burgers. Now let's grab our sword pistol. Let's banzai into the target. And now... Alright, in theory it works, yep. In theory this is great. And since it... Well, it's a sword, you can also charge. Yeah, so you get a nice charge bonus. All of the things, and you don't have to switch from your sword to your pistol if you want to shoot. You get all of this. And also you theoretically save up on your sword. You don't have to buy a sword. Since it counts as a pistol, you can use it for the additional charging ability, and you can still carry around a shovel with you in your weapon slot, so you can dig holes without being slowed down, which shovels usually are the problem. If you have a shovel, you cannot charge, or at least not with full speed. So everything is great so far, but here comes the big problem. Look at the sprint factor, it's 100. Meaning you don't get the 50% speed bonus of a normal sword, because if you look at weaponry, for swords you will see it has 150 sprint factor. Meaning this sword pistol is slow as an American boomer. Yeah, and this is simply not good. Like, you're using swords to be fast, and all of these cool combinations of charging, slashing and shooting won't work because you're way too slow. And this is the big problem. Also, you need perfect keybinds, so you don't conflict with charging and slashing and shooting. I have everything perfectly spread out, so it works, though not intended to be used for this, but in general. But many people don't. So yeah, this might be another problem. So yeah, like this thing is okay, and if you want to use it, it's cool and fun and special, but it's nothing too strong. It's literally not strong, and I'd much rather have the speed of a normal sword and just charge at enemies and quickly slash two of them and then start shooting. than using this. Also, it's in general better to have the additional movement speed than just move through a room and slash away all the enemies than switching around and trying to shoot, because shooting will require 2 hits, swords don't. Also, I don't know the reach of this thing. I think it might be less, because swords in general already have a reduced reach. All of the bayonet rifles, for example, have a 2 meter reach. Swords have one of just 1 meter 80, I think. This might have an additionally reduced reach, which will make it even worse, because not only are you slower, but you also have to get closer to the enemy to slash him, which makes it just worse. So yeah, this is just an okay buy. It's definitely not a good or very good weapon, it's just an okay weapon. And now the last recommendation, the Type A rifle. Why is it good? Well, the Japanese suffer from very bad equipment. They're the only nation who don't get a high magazine size semi-auto rifle in BR3. The Germans get 10 bullets in the Gewehr 41, the Soviets get 10 bullets in the AV something, AVT I think, and the Americans get their famous Garand with 8 bullets. But the Japanese get the short end of the Japanese schlong by having only a 5 bullet. Okay, this is ironically enough the BR2 version with 5 bullets. And if you think, oh, let's grind BR3 and upgrade, well, you can grind to tier 4 and get your BR3 semi-auto again with 5 bullets. Yes, this is absolutely bad. Absolutely bad, but if you don't want to suffer as a Japanese, this is your Lord and Savior, the Type A rifle 10 with 10 bullets. Yes, and with insanely good stats too, because it's, well, it's one of the best. Look at this. It has 0 recoil. Yeah, this is insane. This is one of the possibly the best semi-auto rifle. Yep. And for those who are motivated to type in the chat, oh, I can't see the screen because of this thing. It's transparent, as you can see. You literally still can see. Yeah, so this is very, very strong. And absolutely worth buying, because it's just literally more than twice as good as the Tech 3 version. This semi-auto rifle is so good. If I would like to play BR3 Japanese, I would absolutely get 4 of them, because they're just thousand miles ahead of the weak ass weapons you get in the Tech 3, and it's just overall a very strong weapon. Very strong weapon. It gets even 10% less recoil thanks to the bayonet. And it has a bayonet, so you can charge. Everything amazing. You can stab enemies on short range, charge into a room, kill 1 or 2 stabbers, and then shoot the rest. So yeah, really good weapon, good recommendation for the Japanese. Alright, that's it. These are all the very good, worth buying gold order weapons in Enlisted. And now you're absolutely perfect prepared for your buying spree to celebrate consumerism on Christmas in Enlisted. And yeah, happy buying. Let me know what you think. Let me know which weapons you got, which weapons I might have missed, which are worth buying, though I'm quite sure well, since I put high quality standards on my recommendations. For example, the Zig 1930 looks cool, has good stats, basically no recoil, 50 damage. But you get a weapon that's almost the same weapon as the Tech 3, also with 50 bullets. Yeah, so many weapons that look good aren't actually as good because you get them in the Tech 3. Yeah, so yeah, but whatever. Let me know what you think, and let me especially hear your greatest stories with some of these weapons, especially the suppressed weapons and the Armament 50. And if you're new, of course, subscribe and like and share this with your Enlisted friends so they get the good deals on this Christmas sale and not the Gaijin deals. Until soon, goodbye.